Have you ever left someone's home feeling more exhausted than when you arrived? As we get older, how we spend our time, and more importantly, who we spend it with, becomes increasingly important. The truth is, certain visits aren't just a waste of time. They can drain your energy, disrupt your peace of mind, and even take a toll on your emotional well-being. But the problem is, we often don't realize this until it's too late. In this video, we're going to talk about 4 types of people whose homes you should avoid visiting after 65, no matter how much free time you have, whether it's out of habit, obligation, or a misplaced sense of politeness. Many of us continue showing up at these homes, not realizing the toll it takes on our mental and emotional state. Today, we're breaking it all down so you can make better choices about where and with whom you spend your time. Stay tuned until the end, because understanding who to avoid is just as important as knowing who to keep close. These 4 people might seem harmless, but their company could be chipping away at your happiness. And by the time you realize it, the damage is already done. Once you recognize these patterns, you'll have the power to protect your energy, set healthy boundaries, and spend your golden years with people who truly uplift you. Now let's get started. Number 1, the chronic complainer. Some people never have a good day, and even when things are going well, they'll find a reason to be upset. You know the type. The moment you walk into their home, you're greeted with a sigh, a complaint about their health, the economy, or how nobody cares about them. It doesn't matter if the sun is shining, or if they've just received good news. There's always something wrong, and if you stay too long, you'll start to feel it too. Negativity is contagious, and when you spend time with someone who constantly complains, it seeps into your own mindset, whether you realize it or not. It's not just about hearing a few grumbles, it's the emotional weight they put on your shoulders. The longer you sit there, the more you absorb their frustration, their hopelessness, their belief that the world is against them. And when you finally leave, you might notice that you feel heavier, as if you're carrying their burdens along with your own. Now, this doesn't mean you should abandon friends or family who are going through tough times. Everyone has struggles, and it's natural to lend a listening ear. But there's a difference between someone going through a rough patch and someone who has made negativity their way of life. Chronic complainers don't want solutions. They want an audience. They thrive on sympathy, and they'll keep pulling you back in, visit after visit, until their problems become your problems. The tricky part is they don't always seem toxic at first. Many complainers start small, an offhand remark about a bad night's sleep, a minor grievance about the neighbor's dog. But before long, you're stuck in a cycle of endless complaints about the unfairness of life. And no matter how much advice you offer, they never take action. You'll notice that no matter how many hours you spend listening, nothing changes. The same problems, the same frustrations, over and over again. And here's something to keep in mind. If you try to shift the conversation to something positive, they'll resist. They might dismiss your optimism or turn it into another complaint. Try telling them about something good that happened to you, and they'll find a way to diminish it or compare it to their own misfortunes. Over time, you'll realize that every visit leaves you emotionally drained rather than refreshed. If you walk into someone's home feeling fine, but leave feeling exhausted, irritated, or even a little hopeless, it's time to reconsider those visits. After 65, your time is too valuable to be spent absorbing someone else's endless negativity. There's nothing wrong with offering kindness, but don't mistake kindness for sacrificing your peace of mind. You are not responsible for carrying the weight of another person's unwillingness to seek happiness. Number 2, the manipulative user. Not everyone who welcomes you into their home does so because they enjoy your company. Some people invite you over only when they need something, and the moment you arrive, you can feel it. At first, it might seem innocent enough. Maybe they ask for a small favor, something that doesn't seem like a big deal, but over time, you begin to notice a pattern. They don't reach out to check on you. They don't invite you over just to chat. Instead, every visit comes with an expectation, something they need you to do, something they want from you. The tricky thing about manipulative people is that they rarely make their requests obvious. Instead, they disguise them in guilt, obligation, or even flattery. They'll say things like, "I don't know what I'd do without you," or "You're the only one who understands." They might talk about how lonely or helpless they feel, making you feel responsible for their happiness. And before you know it, you're fixing their leaky faucet, driving them to run errands, or spending hours doing things for them instead of enjoying your own free time. Here's the problem. These relationships are not built on mutual respect. True friendship or family, bond is about give and take, where both people support each other, but with a manipulative user, the balance is always off. You give, they take. You make time for them, they expect more. And when you start to notice that your visits leave you feeling obligated rather than appreciated, that's a sign that something isn't right. Some people might justify this by saying, well, they don't have anyone else. And that might be true. But ask yourself, if the situation were reversed, would they be there for you? If you needed help, would they drop everything to assist you the way you do for them? If the answer is no, then you have to wonder, are they really a friend or just someone using you for convenience? One of the biggest red flags of a manipulative user is how they react when you say no. If you decline a request and they make you feel guilty, disappointed, or even angry, that's a clear sign that your visits are not about companionship, they're about control. And after 65, the last thing you need is someone who sees your kindness as an opportunity to take advantage of you. Your time is valuable and your energy is limited. Spending it on people who genuinely care about you is what makes life fulfilling. But spending it on someone who only sees you as a resource will leave you feeling drained, unappreciated, and eventually resentful. If someone only calls when they need something and never just to check in on you, that's not a real connection. That's an obligation. And you deserve better. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, the drama magnet. Some people don't just experience drama, they create it. No matter what's happening in their life, there's always a conflict, a feud, or a crisis unfolding. And if you spend enough time around them, you'll find yourself caught in the middle of it. You might go to their home, expecting a friendly chat, only to be met with a long, winding story about how they were wronged, betrayed, or disrespected again. And before you know it, you're being pulled into their never-ending cycle of chaos. The problem with drama magnets is that peace makes them uncomfortable. When things are calm, they feel restless, so they stir the pot, gossiping about others, exaggerating small disagreements, or even twisting stories to make themselves look like the victim. And they don't just want you to listen, they want you to take sides. They'll tell you about a falling, out they had with a neighbor or a family member, and suddenly you're expected to agree with them, defend them, or even distance yourself from the people they dislike. And here's the real issue. It never ends. Even if you try to stay neutral, they'll keep pushing, testing, and waiting for you to pick a side. If you agree with them, they'll reward you with more gossip, more exclusive details about the situation. But if you disagree, or try to change the subject, they'll take offense. You might even become their next target. That's the thing about people who thrive on drama eventually. Everyone around them gets pulled into their mess. One of the most exhausting things about visiting a drama magnet's home is that you leave feeling emotionally drained. The conversation isn't uplifting, the time spent isn't enjoyable, and there's a constant undercurrent of tension, even when they're being friendly. And if you're not careful, their influence can start affecting your mood, your relationships, and even how you see the world. Some people mistake this for passion or excitement, thinking, well, they just have a lot going on. But real friends don't drag you into unnecessary stress. Real friends don't make you feel like you're walking on eggshells, trying not to say the wrong thing. If someone's home feels more like a battlefield than a place of comfort, ask yourself why you keep going back. The older you get, the more you realize that peace is priceless. And if someone thrives on drama at the expense of your well-being, it's okay to step away. You're not obligated to listen, participate, or take on their emotional burdens. After 65, your time should be spent with people who bring you joy, not with those who treat you like an audience for their never-ending problems. Number 4, the negative nostalgic. Some people live in the past, and not in a way that brings warmth or wisdom, but in a way that keeps them stuck in bitterness, regret, and resentment. When you visit their home, the conversation always circles back to what went wrong, who disappointed them, or how life was unfair to them. It doesn't matter how much time has passed or how much good they have in their life today. Their focus is always on what they lost, rather than what they still have. At first, it might seem like harmless reminiscing. After all, everyone enjoys talking about the past now and then. But with the negative nostalgic, it's never just about memories. It's about reliving disappointments. They'll bring up old family conflicts, past betrayals, or lost opportunities. And the more they talk, the more they sink into resentment. And here's where it affects you. Because no matter how positive you try to be, they will always pull the conversation back to regret. Have you ever noticed that after spending time with certain people you start to see the world the way they do? That's the danger of spending too much time with someone who fixates on the past. Without realizing it, you might find yourself dwelling on your own regrets, your own disappointments, things you thought you had let go of years ago. And slowly, without meaning to, you begin to adopt their perspective, seeing life through the lens of what could have been instead of what can still be. And it's not just about their own regrets. They might also try to shape your view of life. They'll tell you that things will never be as good as they used to be, that today's world has nothing to offer, that getting older only means loss. And if you let those words sink in, they can start to feel like the truth. The reality is, life changes for everyone. There are always things to be grateful for, new experiences to enjoy, and new memories to create. But the negative nostalgic doesn't see it that way. To them, the best days are gone, and they have no interest in finding joy in the present. And if you spend too much time in their home, you risk absorbing their hopelessness instead of protecting your own optimism. Now, this doesn't mean you should avoid people who have been through hardships, but there's a difference between sharing life lessons and clinging to past pain. There's a difference between honoring memories and being trapped by them. After 65, you should be surrounding yourself with people who appreciate what life still has to offer, not those who only see what they've lost. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on the 4 types of people we've talked about. Have you ever found yourself leaving someone's home feeling drained, frustrated, or emotionally weighed down? If so, it might be time to reconsider where and with whom you spend your time. After 65, your peace of mind is one of the most valuable things you have, and protecting it isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Now, this doesn't mean you should cut people out of your life without reason, but it does mean being mindful of the energy you allow into your space. Some visits leave you feeling uplifted, inspired, and truly connected. Others leave you exhausted, questioning yourself or carrying emotional weight that isn't yours to bear. When you start paying attention to how you feel after spending time with someone, you'll quickly see the difference between relationships that nourish you and those that drain you. Remember, you are not responsible for fixing someone else's negativity, fueling their drama, or making up for the things they refuse to change. Your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being are just as important as anyone else's, and you deserve to spend your later years surrounded by people who bring you joy, not those who take it away. So ask yourself, who in your life truly appreciates you? Who makes you feel valued? And whose home do you leave feeling better than when you arrived? Those are the relationships worth investing in, because at this stage in life, every moment matters, and spending them wisely will make all the difference. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.